welcome back to my Patreon. I hope you guys are doing well. I am getting ready to go away. As you guys know, if you've been keeping up, I am headed off to Inverell, which is rural New South Wales. And it is a 9-ish hour drive. So we will be making the trek on Thursday night. Hubby finishes work and he normally gets home around 7 p.m. And then we drive through the night with the teacup humans asleep in the back. It is grueling on hubby and I, but it means we get the most out of the weekend because we do drive back from my parents' house Sunday afternoon. So it is a hell of a trip, but that means that I am getting ready to pack supplies up. So I thought that I would turn on the camera and introduce you to my travel case. Now, I bought this case, this wooden box from Aldi, which is a store here in Australia. I think it's a German brand, I know they have it over in England. I'm not sure if you guys have it in the US, but we have it here, and every now and then they have these art boxes that they sell rather cheaply, and they're well made for the price, but they will not last the test of time, I don't think. So my dad, who is very crafty as well as very handy with wood and all things wood, basically, he made me an easel, which I love dearly. It's actually too big to sit in my studio because it is massive. Anyway, I gave him this box and said, would you be able to strengthen it for me, and would you be able to stain it for me, because it's a raw wood box when you buy it. It was 20 bucks. And so Dad went away and he stained it this beautiful dark wood, and also put a varnish over it so that keeps it nice and beautiful. He also strengthened. There are dividers that come in here, but I'm not a big fan of them, so I do pull them out when I don't feel like using them. So there's dividers for in here as well, but I'm not putting them in for this trip. And he strengthened the latches on here. You can see the clip, that clip. It's a very big box, so it's hard to get in frame. And also engraved my name on the front, so you can see there. So that was all my dad's handiwork, and this is one of my very favorite things to use when I travel. It's probably not the most economical way to travel with your art supplies, but I am a very sentimental person when it comes to, let me put something in the frame so that stays focused. When it comes to this box, I adore everything that my dad makes me, and he has made me quite a few things for my studio. He also made the ring box for my wedding that our rings were in. And so whenever my dad takes the time and the effort to make me something, I do cherish it. And one of my very favorite things, even though he didn't make the box, I know that the way that the box looks now is because of him, and that just makes it just as special. So I am taking some art supplies with me because when I go to Inverell, if you didn't know, I get my creative nature from my mama, and we normally get together because we don't see each other that often. I haven't seen my mum since Christmas, so it's been quite a while since, even though we Skype every week, it's different to being together properly. So I'm going to pack some supplies in my box, in my art box, but I know that not all my supplies are going to fit in here, but my most used will go in here. So I'm just trying to work out what, so I thought I would switch the camera on and have a chat, because I need to film more than just drawing videos for you guys this month. So I thought, why not see what I I do trap them in here, what I take with me on a weekend trip. So I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to gather some of my things because they are all around the studio, and I don't want this video to be too long for you guys. So I will gather some of the things that I'm going to take, and then I'll show you how I pack it. Okay, so I've packed a little bit in the top layer. As you saw, I've taken the box off the desk because it's massive. So this is the top layer, and that will sit on top of whatever I put in the bottom layer, which I haven't worked out yet. So besides my working pencil case, which will be my Anorak Deer one. But at the moment, this thing is a giant mess with all the drawing and creating and the Patreon stuff and collage sheet. This thing is in chaos. So there's no rhyme or reason to what's in here, which means I need to clean it out and I need to reorganize what I take, because there's like a bit of everything in here, and every time I'm looking for something, it's just, I will go through this in another video. I think reorganizing my pencil case is a great idea, because sometimes you just collect the world inside a pencil case and then you can never find what you want. So organizational videos were one of the requests, so organizing my pencil case will be coming. But this is what I've packed so far. It may change, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep these in this tin. It's kind of to keep them safe and to keep them in place. So starting from the side, I have my little pocket Schmincare palette with my half pans that you saw me put in, and obviously the magnet tape is cheap and crappy and I need to buy better magnet tape. So they're all they're kind of half staying together, half not. But yeah, they're in there. So that's all the watercolors I'm taking. I was going to take more, but there's no point. So I'm just going to take this lot of watercolors with me. So there's my little palette, and that's a great little portable size. I have some rubber stamps here. These are from I want to say the Darkroom Door. And when I was last with Mum, she rubber mounted these for me because they were just, they had no mounts on them. So I've got numbers here if I want to do like dated journal entries in my journal. So I've got those there. And I've also got my Ranger ink, which is acid-free, permanent and waterproof, because I like to stamp sometimes and then go over it with watercolor. I always make sure that the ink that I buy is waterproof, and I've actually this is a new addition, kind of like in the last 2 months to the studio, and I was testing out because I ran out of my StazOn, which is my original ink that I normally use, and I'm actually really enjoying this ink, so I will be repurchasing this one again. And I have a few of my brushes. I will take some of the portable travel ones for when I'm working on the go, maybe in the car during the day, on the way home, because on the way there it's too dark to work. But on the way home I might use these. But when I am out or when I'm somewhere, I do really like to use my proper brushes because I feel I have more control over the water flow. Some of my Pentel brushes just give out way too much water, and I'm either doing something wrong or I've got shoddy brushes. I don't know. So these are Princeton Neptune brushes, and I got these for working with Canson on the design team. They are of a higher quality and a little bit pricier, which is why I chose to get them as my design team stuff, because I would never... I think I bought this one as a treat for my birthday. I used some birthday money to buy this one from Jane. But other than that, these brushes I wouldn't buy. Well, I would if I had the money, but I wouldn't do that to my family budget. So I have a number 14, which is a nice, beautiful, chunky one. This is good for making good washes, and when I just want to be really carefree. They feel so soft. And like I've said in many videos before, if you have good brushes, take care of them. They'll last you a lifetime. So I make sure that I dry them out every time I finish using them, and I try so hard not to keep them in water. So I have a 14. I also have a half, and this is like, I think it's called Cat's Tongue. I've got to quote me if I'm wrong. I probably am, but it's like a flat pointed arrow brush, and it comes into a point at the end. But yeah, when it's wet it does. But that, I really enjoy this brush. I have a Winsor & Newton Galleria in 00, and this is a very tiny brush, which will be very hard to see on camera, but I have a 00 for little detail work. I also have a number 4 in the Princeton Neptune brand, and I also have a 0, and I have brush guards for these because they are very delicate and it's very easy for them to get their bristles out of whack, and I'm trying to take care of them because they are an investment to my work. And this one is a Escoda brush in size 2. I bought this when I was in Melbourne, and it's the most I've ever spent on a brush, including this one down here, this one here, because this one cost me a fortune. It cost me $33. It was one of my splurges from my last Melbourne trip, and I love it. And then I also got my name engraved on the side. I don't know if you can see if I can, where is my name? There. So you can see my name's been engraved there. I thought that that was, if I was going to spend the money on a really expensive travel brush that I'm going to keep for years and years and years, I wanted to make sure it was extra special by getting my name engraved into it. So they're the brushes I am bringing. As you know, I use Distress Stains ridiculously, like heaps and heaps. And so I have got Picked Raspberry. Do you know, I've been saying this name wrong for ages. I don't know if anyone's picked it up, but if you've watched previous videos, I always call this color Pickled Raspberry. Always, until I, for some reason, decided to actually read the label. So I am sorry if you ever went looking for Pickled Raspberry and only found Picked. So I have Pickled Raspberry. Picked Raspberry. Old habits die hard. And I have Candied Apple, which is a really nice red. I have Wilted Violet, which is a really beautiful rich purple. And I have Peacock Feathers, which is like a really nice bluey green. I have 2 acrylic blocks, and I have these Hyperdeck stamps on them. I'll insert a quick clip of me stamping these because I did film me stamping these for my bullet journal video that I'm working on. So you'll see the footage now so you can see what they look like. But my mum asked me to bring them so she could stamp a heap for her planner. I have a little gridded ruler which I carry everywhere, and then I have this little container, and in here are my Caran d'Ache gouaches. So I thought I'd try and play a little bit on the weekend with those, since I haven't really used them heaps since I first bought them. I've only used them once or twice, and I really want to use them a bit more than that. So I thought if I take them with me, and I have limited supplies, then it'll force me to play with them. So they're in there. I have a gold bulldog clip because my girlfriend Ellie is coming to visit me. If you watch my giveaway video, Ellie is the darling lady that sewed the Alice pencil case, and whenever I come to Inverell, she tries to make it from Armidale, which is a 40-minute drive from Inverell. So we try and meet up and have little crafty dates, and she was saying how much she wished she had the gold bulldog clips that all the fancy people have, and I said, oh, I've got 2, I'll bring you one so you can be fancy too. So I made sure I put that in there or I would forget. And my girlfriend Hayley from Pause Plan Create sent me this beautiful washi tape sample keyring. She has got more washi tape than I would know what to do with, so she sent me a huge heap of samples, and I call it my portable rainbow, as well as my portable rainbow watercolor set. So that always comes with me when I'm traveling, so I don't really need to take any washi with me because I have it. And that is all in this top layer, I think. I'm not quite sure what else I would bring in the top layer. Maybe my tape runner, but I think that'll end up in my working pencil case. I know that's a really random thing to call it, but it's literally what it is. The stuff that I work with is what is in my pencil case at the moment. So I am going to stop this here. I'm going to film my pencil case de-stash. So this thing here is going to get a clean out, and I will either put it in this video. No, it'll be too long. I will make a new video for this because there is just so much crap in here. So I need to work out what I want to go put in the bottom, and I need to clean this out and get it ready to take. And I will show you what I put in the bottom of my bottom of my box to take on my trip. I can see that I am lacking quite a few things. So I will get back to you and we'll be back very soon. Bye. I didn't realize how awkward this would be to film, so I'm sorry for the weird angle, but because this is such a massive box, it's just, I'm having trouble getting everything in frame. I actually ran out of time filming the bottom half of my box, because when you think you've got all the time in the world when you're traveling, in actual fact you don't. I realized that I didn't have enough time and I was being so slow and laid back, and then before I knew it, it was the afternoon that we needed to leave and I had to do the whirlwind clean up because my mother-in-law comes to take care of our cat and I don't want her to think we're a bunch of hoarders. So I ran around like a flip, cleaning everything, packing everything, washing everything. So I never got to film the bottom half of my box, but I haven't actually unpacked it since we got home. So I thought I will still do it because it's still relevant. So in the bottom, I have some gridded Project Life cards, the bigger ones. I've really enjoyed making miniature collages on these for my journals and using them as tip-ins. So I took a wad of those just in case. I also took some catalysts. They're from the brand Catalyst, and Princeton make them, and I brought them along because my mum and I had all these grand intentions to do jelly printing with my jelly plate, which I actually forgot to bring home with me, so mum still has it. So these were to make marks in the paint and to spread paint out, and as you can see they're clean, which means we actually didn't do any jelly printing, but they were there as in all my intentions of doing some jelly printing. I took my hexagon punch. Ellie, my bestie, and I always like to go on a punch fest. My mum has a plethora of punches in her craft room. I have like 2. So I bought the hexagon with me so we could punch out some things. She bought a stack of scrapbook paper and we basically sat there gas bagging and punching things out for our journals. So I took my punch. In the bottom, you can see that my selfie printer fits nicely in the bottom of this box. So I did pop that in there because I did actually use it while I was away. I printed a heap of my photos that I took so I could journal while I was away with mum. So that sat in the corner there snugly. And then I put my watercolor cloth on top so that the top layer didn't scratch it at all. But that's currently wet from watercoloring, so I'm not going to get that out. And then I took extra, if you have a selfie, you know that you have the cartridges that you pop in with the paper. So this is the card size, and I have sticker paper for this, and this is the 4x6 size, so I brought both. And then this was an extra cartridge, like the printer ink is on here for the card size. And then I bought my spare paper for both sizes. I also bought my tape runner. So that was for the bottom of the box. And then the top layer sat really nicely on top and was all secure and everything. And then I'll show you how I packed a few little extras. So because we were going to jelly print, this is a big huge document holder that I got from Officeworks, and it is perfect for carrying 12x12 stencils. Now because we were going to do some jelly printing, I brought my stencils along with me. I also bought my normal suspects there. But I did play around with my stencils while I was there, even though we didn't do any jelly printing. So I have some cool, oh, they're going to be really hard to see. Let me just go grab a piece of paper that I can put underneath so you guys can actually see what they look like. Okay, so I've grabbed some black card. So as you can see, these are my big 12x12 stencils, and I buy them big because I really like the really big numbers. You can buy them in smaller sizes from memory. I will try and link as many of these as I can find online, just in case, because I do get questions about my stencils. So as you can see down the side, I'm actually thinking of cutting these down so they're not so big. So cutting the months down and the numbers. So that has the months there, and then the numbers in there. So I have that one. Where am I going to put these? Back here. I have a smaller design one. That's like a squarish shape. And then I have a massive raindrops one, which is really cute for mixed media and stuff like that. And then I have another, this one has days of the week on it and like little titles and things. Sorry, they're really massive to get in frame, so I'll move them around. So this one says week in review. I bought these when I was considering making my own Project Life cards, but I think they still work in your journals, of course. And I have some Fleur de Lis. That's a bit hard to see because I've used the black, but as you can see in the corner, that one. And I've got this sort of leopard print one. I actually did a video using these years ago for mermaid scales on a tail. And I have, oh, there's one that's got stuck. Let's see, get out, get out. Okay, so there's another Fleur de Lis one. Really, really like this one. I actually bought this one more for my mum than me because I know she loves that sort of pattern. And then I have some honeycomb print. Oh, everything's falling. So yes, those are the stencils that I took. And then I also took my normal ones. So I have a square one. Oh geez. Going well, Courtney, going well. So a square one in all the different sizes. These are just cheapo ones that I found in an office store. And you've seen my letters one that I ninja'd off my daughter. So that's the capital letters. And I also have the lowercase letters with some of the little brackets and things there. So they're my two faves. And then I have the square one, and then I also have it in circles, which is really handy. I do have a really big circle one, but when I'm traveling I like to just take this small one, and they're handy for things. And as well as that big stencil thing, I also took a pouch. Let me put those down there. I also took a pouch. So I bought this last year from Chic Sparrow. This is one of her plain pouches. I'm not quite sure what it's called. This is the medium size, I think. And she had a Cyber Monday sale where it was 30% off. As you can see, if you put things inside it, you can see the dents. I bought this as a pencil case, never used it as a pencil case, but I use it constantly when we travel for my tech stuff, or hubbies and my tech stuff. So it carries quite a lot, and you can see in there that I've got all of our, so I've got like my battery charger for the camera, that cord for there, all of our Apple cords and things because we're an Apple family. And the massive power pack to the selfie. And I also had a, also in there was a, what do you call them, portable battery charger, like one of those juice boxes where you plug it in and it charges your phone, because we're always losing batteries. So that was in there as well, but hubby's got that at work. So that was packed with all our tech stuff. And then you'll obviously have to wait and see what happened in my pencil case, because that is a separate video altogether. Man, that video was a war zone of pencils and pink. Too much pink in one pencil case. So that is what I took on my trip. And things that I didn't use obviously were the Catalyst instruments for jelly printing. And I didn't use my gouaches, but everything else that I packed that you saw was used in some way, shape or form. So I made sure what I took was important things, were things that were going to be used. So that is what I took in my travel art box, and stay tuned to see what I took in my working pencil case. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, something a little different for you. I apologize again for the angle because the box is so massive I can't seem to get it in frame no matter how I tried, but If there is anything you want to know more about, pop it in the comments below and ask me, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I see the comments. I do try and reply instantly if I have the answer. That is something I do strive to do, is answer questions and comments instantly because they're important to me. So I will see you guys for the next video. I don't know if this is going up on a Wednesday or Saturday, but either way, enjoy, and I'll see you very soon. Bye. Like this, like I said in my previous video, this is a creative process. This is something for you guys to have fun with. And it's a way to get your minds ticking over. And then of course I'm going to do stripy legs because that's like a signature Courtney move. But this is